Scene opens. Stefan is sitting in his small, cramped, mostly concrete studio apartment. Um, the windows are, as usual, covered over with thick, dark canvas. He rummages through a couple things, trying to find a tool that he has not used in a while. Gathers them all onto a work table and gathers what remains of his stone material to that he will use to put together a chess set for Mr. Marsh, thinking, wondering, hoping that his recent business deal does not fall through like so many other things have fallen through. He sits down at his workbench and begins selecting the right scrap to begin shaping. He starts by selecting a taller piece. Figures he'll start with the white side. And he starts sculpting what will be the king. Goes through it, meticulously starts at the base, decides that a round base will do. He reflects on all of his recent encounters, the people he's met, kindred he's met, as he begins to draw up his small chisels. No. It's I must. No. Okay. He struggles a bit, realizing that he's lost a little bit of focus. Then finding that he corrected his mistake. Goes back to doing what he was doing, and reflects whether or not he gave too many people too much information about himself, remembering what his sire told him so many years ago when he was given leave to return to his home in New Sarum from New York, remembering the members of the Camarilla there, how his sire told him to to lay low until the moment was right, to uphold the traditions. He thinks about this deeply. Um, he's always tried to be careful. He's always tried to moderate, I guess, be the right way to put it, what he tells people that he doesn't really know. Um, Looking back at his piece and snapping from his reflection, he he looks at the first piece, at this king that he's started to shaping, and it completely subconsciously he sculpted this. He remembered the person that he made this deal with, um, and somehow came up with um, a rugged, outdoorsy type, um, a a mountain man, regal in a way, I guess. Um, Strong, firm, definitely somebody who commands his environment. As he begins working on the face, um, keeping in mind that this individual's this piece's features, facial features, must be hard chiseled, commanding, um, not letting up. He resumes his work, and his mind begins to wander. Continues the reflection upon everyone he's met. His mind goes back to the young lady, the writer. He's been thinking for some time how best he can captivate the young Toreador. One of his goals has always been to gain their attention with his craft, in order to show as many people as he could what it really means to see soul and life and emotion in an inanimate object. Thinks about his recent encounter with her at the diner. The presences he remembered feeling from both the tall man in red and another that he can't even place. Thinks about the emotions that horror invoke. And contemplates maybe sometime in the future crafting Shuri a small statuette, something that would invoke horror, something that contains an aspect of fear, something that a piece that makes the blood, even in a kindred, chill, run icy. Something that would make a kindred's heart pump. So the blood warms, so the pulse is felt, so that the breathing is hard. Continues working on chipping away at the stone in his hand. He sets it down, adjusting a vise around the base, and goes to work to very, very carefully sculpting the features, a rough outline at first, knowing that he can smooth it over very, very carefully. He he sits back a little bit in his chair. Doesn't have to take a deep breath, but he just as long as I am careful, as long as I keep focus, I will make this a masterpiece. Something that Mr. Marsh will enjoy. Snaps back, realizing he's talking to nobody. He continues his work. His thoughts trail off a bit. His mind races from one person to the next, tries to take them all in. His emotions shift from one spectrum to another. At a certain point, he cannot continue his work. He walks back over, getting up from his workbench, walks over to a small, very worn, very old chair, something you would find in a study. It's ragged, it's tattered, but it's his. He looks over to his likewise seen better days record player. He takes out a recording of Brahms and sets it down on the turntable. Brings the needle over and starts the playback. Sitting in his chair, he thinks. He lets his mind just wander. He tries to calm down. He tries to calm himself, but he can't help but seep into a deep depression as he remembers that this was one of his mother's favorite pieces. Remember so long ago that he took her body back to Germany, only having a couple close friends that came to her funeral. His mind trails off, and uncontrollably. He falls asleep, still being about 4 in the morning. He literally falls asleep in tears.